Bonnie Avalon asked, knowing Michael for 20 years, what do you think his opinion would be now on how his children are being raised today? I know that's kind of a tough one. And if you don't feel comfortable answering that, that's fine.
Well, I'll answer it.
Okay.
I'm not sure how he'd view everything that's going on. He would want to be there himself.
Oh, sure.
He would want to raise his children.
Mm-hmm.
That was always his goal.
Yeah.
And so I'm not sure anything about his family would suit Michael.
Okay.
I think just because of that.
Sure.
He would feel awfully bad for Paris right now.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I know that.
Yeah, I know when I first heard that, you hear it first and you think, I hope it's a rumor,
Yeah.
And, but there was just, I know there was I don't know if you saw it, there was a makeup video that she did. No,
I think Lori saw it.
Okay, yeah, it was on YouTube, and
Yeah.
I want to say it was done maybe only a week or a couple days before this happened. And there was just something, I watched it, and someone had sent it to me, and I thought, what's this? And I started watching it, and I would, there was just something there that I just sensed something wasn't.
Yeah.
There was turmoil going on underneath, and obviously, I don't think they've ever really been able to fully grieve their father and move on because of all the things that have gone on.
No, I think you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
I think you are absolutely right.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, and that's just my opinion, but I have a feeling that Paris is feeling that more than the two boys.
Mm-hmm.
I can't say that for sure because I don't know.
Yeah.
But that's just my feeling.
Okay. Yeah, because wasn't she always sort of like Daddy's little girl, kind of?
Oh,
she was always hanging on him, and.
Yeah, she had a special bond with Michael. I mean, God.
Yeah, and to lose that and all of a sudden be, I don't know how you process something like that at that age.
I know. I just wish I could tell her that, that just to close her eyes and imagine that Michael's got his arms around her.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what he would do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Let's see. But Bonnie also asked, did Michael ever discuss with you his plans or vision for the future regarding music, art, and his children? So 3 different subjects there.
Oh, yeah. Let's see. About his music. Of course, Michael, both those allegations cropped up because Michael was one of the busiest people I've ever known. Always working on music.
Yeah, yeah.
But then, when those things happen, it kind of put a plug in that,
Oh, sure.
His ideas and his music flowed like a stream.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, when you dam that up,
oh my gosh, yeah.
That's terrible conflict for him. But his plans always were that, when he stopped performing, that he would become involved in film.
Okay, yeah.
And in fact, he even showed me, because he bought the cameras that they, what was that movie? These are special cameras that film things in like 3 dimensions or something.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, he bought those cameras, and he had them at his house. He showed them to me.
Oh, wow.
But that was always his plan, I don't think he would ever give up on music, because Michael was music.
Yeah, yeah.
That was his life. But as far as traveling and performing, at some point he was going to not do that,
Sure.
And his interest really was in film.
So did he want to produce or be like behind the cameras more?
I think he wanted to produce and direct.
Okay.
Not so interested in in starring in something.
Okay.
That wasn't the reason for it. He just really was mesmerized by film. He loved movies.
Yeah.
And if none of those things would have happened to him, you would know him right now as a great director.
Wow. That's,
I know that. Michael could do anything he set his mind to. That was just the kind of person he was. When Michael bought into something, it was 100%.
Sure.
It wasn't 99 or 95%. It was 100%. And it had to be the best that he could do. And I just know that if those things wouldn't happen to him, that we'd be talking to him about him in film.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, that's hard to think about because you wonder what could have become, you know.
I know. I know. Yeah, it's terrible. We shut down a genius.
Yeah.
We shut down a genius.
Yeah. And that always seems to happen. The people that shine the brightest, you know.
Isn't that true?
Yeah.
And that is such a shame to see good people shut down like that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
By people that don't know what the hell they're doing.
Right. True.
and kids, you know, he wanted his kids to do what they wanted to do. He always thought, you know, that when I was at the ranch, when Prince was like, he wasn't even 2 years old yet, he's walking around with a video camera.
Oh.
He's taking videos.
Prince's?
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
Wow.
He always did that. He did that from the time he could walk. Like, I was there, he was a year old. We were at the ranch, and Michael invited some neighbor people.
Okay.
From Los Olivos. And they had 2 little boys and a little girl.
Okay.
And so he invited them over for dinner.
Okay.
And so we went up to the theater, and they served us dinner up at the theater. And we watched Titanic, first-run movie.
Okay.
Because he would have first-run movies at his theater.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah. And so I held Prince during that whole movie. That's a long movie, okay?
Oh, yeah.
We didn't even start till 9 o'clock.
Oh, my goodness.
Prince stayed up awake for the whole thing.
Oh, wow.
He sat in my lap during the whole movie.
Wow.
And he was still awake when we walked out.
Because wasn't it like a 3-hour movie?
Yeah.
Titanic, yeah.
It's like midnight already.
Oh, my gosh.
So we come back down to the house, and of course, you know, Michael has his golf carts and stuff there, so the kids chase around the golf carts a little bit. And I was just holding Prince, and then Prince spotted the moon. He goes, ooh, pointed the moon.
Yeah.
He was such an alert little child. My God.
Wow.
And he always amazed me.
Just in what they were able to do at that age.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for Paris, I don't know what his thoughts were for Paris exactly, or for Blanket. You know, Blanket was a little guy.
Oh, yeah, he was small, yeah.
Ooh, and the cutest baby. I wish I could show you a picture.
Aww.
That is the cutest little kid. I used to carry him around all the time.
Yeah.
And I may have told you that before, but I came down for breakfast one morning, and Michael was all excited, and he said, Blanket said his first sentence. Blanket said his first sentence.
Oh.
And I said, what did he say? And he said, where's Dave?
Really?
That was his first sentence.
Was Michael a little upset by this?
No, he was happy. God,
Okay.
He was just so excited.
Oh, that's funny.
I used to take Blanket. I carry him around all the time. Blanket loved that. I'd take him down by the water, and we'd play in the water down at the pool.
Okay.
Stuff. He just loved that. He's just the greatest little kid.
Yeah.
Just wanted to squeeze him until he popped.
Well, and he always he seems to me like he just looks like the spitting image of Michael sometimes.
Listen, this little kid's going to be an entertainer.
Yeah.
I don't care what people say. He's very shy. Have you noticed?
Yeah, I know when I've seen him on it, when they've done interviews and that, he doesn't really say much.
That's just like Michael.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Michael's terribly, terribly shy.
Yeah.
Okay? But not on stage.
Yeah.
On stage, Michael came alive.
Yeah.
And you watch.
Then he'll,
Blankets Who Made an Entertainer, I'll bet you.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know what's funny? Because people always used to, like when I first started the website, people would say, well, gosh, it's so, because people would see Michael in interviews and think, he's so quiet and shy in the interviews. And they would think that was odd. But, having interviewed different celebrities at different times, like, for instance, one of the interviews I did was Martin Short.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and he was very quiet.
Yeah.
I expected him to be like this live wire.
Nope.
No, and I've actually found that I think it's pretty common for most entertainers. They're very quiet, but then, like you said, they get on stage and boom, they're...
I do too, like Robert Redford, and Redford's that way,
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes, a very shy person.
Ah.
Very, very shy.
That's so interesting,
I know.
Yeah.
And Eddie Murphy, like, I've seen him on TV, and on his specials, it's like one cuss word after the next, and but the man never says any cuss words.
Oh.
Never says any. He watches what he eats.
Yeah.
Very careful about that. He doesn't smoke, doesn't use alcohol, doesn't use coffee.
Wow.
All those things. And it's always amazing to meet people and then find out what they're really like.
Right. Yeah, it's eye opening.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You see two sides of personality.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like Michael, like being so shy and then being such an extrovert.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
In his music.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you see him on stage. I mean, I've only through videos and that because I hadn't seen him live, but you just watch that and you think, oh my gosh, how could someone perform like that and be so quiet, off stage? But
you would expect an extrovert,
Yeah.
Not that way, but he found, that was his tranquil spot.
Yeah.
That was where he never worried about anything. He never thought about anything.
Mm-hmm.
He was completely open. He was doing what he was meant to be doing.
Yeah. Yeah, you get in your element and you're just, it becomes natural to you.
That's right.
Yeah.
And Michael always said, he said, if God wouldn't have given me this talent, he said, I could be pumping gas down at the gas station.
Mm-hmm. Right.
He was always aware of that. That's part of his humility.
Yeah.
And he lived for his fans. He really did.
Mm-hmm.
He cared everything about his fans. That's why every CD or anything that he produced had to be the very best quality.
Yeah.
Because he did not want to cheat the fans.
Sure, and that's nice, because I'm betting that a lot of people don't give a whole lot of thought to their fans.
No, they got the money, they got the family.
Right.
Cares about the fans.
Right. Yeah.
It's the same with people in sports. People that played sports, baseball, football, basketball. They'd sign autographs for the kids. Now they charge for it.
Yeah, I know. I remember the first time seeing that, and I'm like, how can you do that? These are the people that made you what you are.
I know.
They got you to that point.
Yeah, these are people that, come to your ball game and, miss a meal or two.
Yeah. Right, to be able to afford to go there.
That's right.
Then they have to pay extra just to get your signature.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Now, we had talked about, being in your element, and I imagine you feel like that when you paint, that you're just, free.
Yeah, it's called in the zone.
Mm-hmm.
It's the thing that you're meant to be doing.
Yep.
And the thing that you love to do.
Yeah.
And everything else goes away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's when you most feel like who you really are.
Yeah.
You just get that, I know what you mean.
Michael did, he used to call me every night. He played Tokyo for a month. And so he used to call me every night after he got done.
Okay.
Concert.
Yeah. A month, wow.
Yeah. He filled that damn stadium every night.
Oh, my goodness.
And I don't know if it was, 30 days consecutive. I'm sure he had a couple of days off, and along the way.
Sure.
But I remember that one day he called me, and he said, Nordahl, because he always called me Nordahl. He said, Nordahl, I've been looking in the mirror, said, I'm getting too old for this act. I told him, no, you're not, Michael. Your voice is exactly the same. You move the same on stage.
Yeah.
Not too old.
How old was he at this point?
Well, that was back in the 90s.
Okay, so...
Yeah, that was
oh, my gosh.
Tokyo.
Oh, that's funny. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Now, actually, two people asked the same question. One, Nicole Thomas, and I hope I'm saying her name right, Daria D. Almasiova.
Okay.
Almasiova. They both asked what your favorite memory or memories are of Michael, which you probably have a million.
God, I just do.
Yeah.
I don't know about my favorite time. I guess I would have to say my favorite times were the times when we used to hang out at the ranch.
Okay.
That was my favorite times. We just hang out, do all kinds of stuff, go back to the zoo, play with animals.
Okay.
I can remember that one night it was cold. It was when I was there during Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
And so we were going to go back up the valley to the ranch, or to the zoo. And Michael said, "Do you bring a jacket?" And I said, "No, I don't have it." And so he grabs his jacket from the Thriller album.
Oh my gosh! Really?
Yeah. So I wore that up the valley, and we went up to play with Jabbar.
Okay.
And Jabbar likes to lick.
Oh.
But I got licked on that jacket. And I told Michael, "Oh God!" I said, "Oh." I said, "He licked me. I got the smudge on the jacket." He said,
"Oh,
no. Don't worry about it." But he would do things like that,
Yeah. That had to feel kind of surreal to be walking around with the Thriller jacket on.
Yeah. I didn't even want to wear it.
Yeah.
Like, no, go ahead.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so I've worn the Thriller jacket.
Yeah. Wow.
I know. I should have asked him for it.
Yeah.
He'd probably given it to me.
He probably would have.
That's the kind of guy he was. I mean,
yeah.
He's a very generous man.
Yeah. Oh.
But that would say those are my favorite times.
Yeah. We
just hang out at the ranch and laugh, and we'd go up to the theater and watch films and eat popcorn and go to the Midway and got it. I was there when they were installing the merry-go-round.
Oh wow.
And that was put right near these huge two oaks.
Okay.
That Michael had lighted with all these little teeny white lights. And there were so many lights on those trees. There were two steeplejacks that worked on those two trees.
Okay.
The entire 2 weeks when I was at the ranch.
Mm-hmm.
And they got 1.5 trees done.
What?
There's literally hundreds of thousands of these little white lights.
Oh my gosh, and that's all they got done was 1 or 2 trees?
1.5 trees.
Oh my gosh.
That's right. But anyway, so the very first ride on the Ferris wheel, the guy was able to start it up and got it running. And so Michael and I got in, and I'm a little squeamish about heights.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
You?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like being high very much.
No.
And so we're going around on the Ferris wheel, and Michael hollers, "Stop it!"
Oh no.
Like, guy, stop it, and we're at the top.
Oh no.
And Michael starts swinging the carriage we're sitting in.
Oh God, I would have passed out.
Freaked me out.
And I take it he knew that you were afraid of the heights?
I didn't tell him, but I had a feeling he knew.
Okay.
I think he did that for my benefit.
Right. We'll get him over this.
It doesn't bother him. He doesn't care.
Oh my gosh.
He doesn't mind heights. He doesn't mind anything.
No, because I like seeing him on that cherry picker in the at the shows. When he would hang off of there, I always catch my breath because I'm like, oh my gosh.
I know. You're famous. Don't get killed.
Right.
Jesus.
Oh my goodness. So how long did you have to stay up there with him swinging?
I hollered at the guys, "Get me down. That's enough." once he started swinging that thing,
oh my
I could
gosh.
see that thing going all the way over and me falling down.
Oh,
You know.
right. Well, he's lucky he actually got you onto the rides, because I probably wouldn't even. We've gone to amusement parks, and my husband likes riding these rides. I can't make myself go on them. It just scares the heck out of me. The like roller coasters, even the Ferris wheel.
Yeah.
The height,
Those rides are crazy.
Yeah.
And Michael can't ever get a high enough ride or a fast enough ride or a scary enough ride. Just
Yeah.
there's never enough.
Oh wow. Yeah, I always admire people that can do that, because.
Me too.
Yeah, I don't. I've tried to get over that fear, but it doesn't work.
No, you can't.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen.
No.
No, he was totally relaxed. He didn't care.
Oh wow.
Not worried about falling.
Yeah. Sheesh.
Well, I might not be as graceful as you, Michael. I might fall out of here, and you won't.
Right. Oh. All right. So, Abby Navarre.
Okay.
I hope I'm saying all these names right, but she says, did Michael ever think he would marry again or have more children? You already answered that. Obviously, he wanted to have more children.
Well, yeah, and Michael was a great proponent of marriage.
Okay.
And Michael really, unlike what happened to him, he really only wanted to be married once.
Oh, sure, I imagine, yeah.
And that forever.
Mm-hmm.
And as far as kids, couldn't get enough.
Yeah.
Had to have more kids.
Yeah. And I imagine being in the position he was in, it had to be difficult outside of, people that he knew really well, to be able to meet someone that he could marry,
Of course.
Because how do you know what they're after?
Well, yeah, of course. Like, unless someone has the same amount of interest or money or fame or whatever, how can you trust that person really cares about you?
Right.
With Michael comes a lot of stuff.
Oh, sure.
And that was, the one thing about Presley is that, she understood what fame was like, from her dad.
Sure.
But she'd never lived the way Michael lived. And she did not like it.
Oh, you mean with the being in the spotlight like that?
No, when I was with him in New York, every time she went out, her and the little boy, they had to have security.
Oh, yeah.
Everywhere she and Michael went, had to be security.
Yeah.
And she absolutely hated that, because she was living in virtual anonymity.
Oh, wow.
Out in California, and she worked a lot at the school where the kids went.
Oh.
The girl was older than the little boy. And so I think she taught a lot there. I think she was kind of a volunteer teacher.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
And I think that, the people that she was involved with are mostly ladies and stuff from that school. That was kind of her circle of friends. And
okay.
They weren't celebrities or anything.
Okay.
And for her to adjust to Michael's life, I think just blew her mind.
Oh, yeah, imagine that. I mean, it's as exciting as I'm sure some women might think that is initially.
Yeah.
That has to be so hard because you lose your freedom.
Oh, it's a total pain in the ass, because
sure.
I was used to traveling around with them and stuff. It's not easy.
No.
If we're going to go to a store, we got to make sure the store is locked up. And,
yeah. Oh, wow.
you can't do anything spontaneously. It all has to be planned out. And like I say, Michael. Not that Michael hated the security people. He just hated the idea of security.
Oh, sure.
That was one of his great things that he would love to do, was just to be able to go into a store as himself and just buy something. That was like an impossible dream for Michael.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and it's like fame becomes this prison, and it's funny because especially the past couple of years, I've thought about this a lot, because my husband and I will go walk on, we'll just go out and take these long walks along the forest trails and that. And I always think about how he couldn't do that. He couldn't just go out and just enjoy being outside of being in Neverland.
No.
He didn't have that kind of freedom, and we take it so for granted.
Of course.
Like
the first time I rode with him down from the ranch down to his apartment down in L.A., I asked him on the way down there, it was about 2 o'clock in the morning when we were driving down the road there.
Okay.
I said, what do you do if you have to take a piss? And he said, he pointed in the back, he said, I have a piss bucket.
Oh, no.
He said, can you imagine Michael Jackson has a piss bucket? Well, think about it. He can't stop at a gas station.
Right. You're right. Oh, my God.
Where's he going to stop?
Yeah, see, now that's something I would never have even given thought to, but you're right.
Yeah. Like, what do you do?
Oh, my gosh.
If you have to go, you got to go.
Right. Oh, my gosh. Yeah.
And he would do that. You know, he'd drive back and forth from L.A. up to the ranch. Mm-hmm. He was always by himself until the kids were born.
Okay.
Then there was security.
Oh, right. Okay.
Because he always worried every day about the kids maybe being kidnapped.
Sure. Yeah.
And that was another reason why he kept their faces covered. Nobody knew what they looked like, so they could go. You know, like when Michael and the kids came here, when we went to the theater to watch that movie. You know, me and the kids went out and bought popcorn.
Okay.
Because nobody knows what the kids look like.
Oh, right. Yep.
Yeah. So it's no big deal.
Mm-hmm.
They could be anywhere.
Yeah, and that was so smart of him, where people always made fun of that.
Oh, yeah.
But that was such a smart thing because, you know, look now how they're being followed around by paparazzi and every,
Absolutely.
You know.
Yeah, you don't want that for your little kids.
No.
And, you know, Michael's dream was that his kids would be able to go to like a public school or something.
Oh, yeah.
Because he wasn't able to either, you know, once he gained some fame.
Oh, sure.
And, but that too was impossible.
Yeah. Now, I still have a couple more. Is that going to be okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Abby also asks, where did he ever speak of where he saw himself at, say, 80 if he had lived, and what did he more did he want to accomplish before he got too old? I know you had mentioned the movie directing and.
Oh yeah, and that was his direction.
Okay.
You know, until everything he was preparing for was for film.
Okay.
Yeah. And there's no doubt in my mind that Michael would have continued to write music because the music flowed through his head.
Yeah.
He told me that. He said, all I do is write it down. And so that would have continued. But his main thrust would have been film, absolutely.
Okay.
And I think as far as things for his little daughter, Paris, I think he envisioned her, you know, getting into film.
Okay.
I think just because of her, the way she was, her personality.
Yeah, and that's kind of the direction she was going, wasn't she? I know there was, I forget the name of it, London's Bridge, is it? Wasn't there
there's something like that.
Yeah. So she seemed like was heading into trying, get into acting.
Yeah, she's a beautiful, intelligent young lady.
Oh, yeah.
And her eyes, have you seen her eyes? You should see them in person.
Oh, I imagine.
Oh, my God. First time I saw her, I couldn't believe it. I thought it was like Dayglow.
Yeah.
They just have a Dayglow quality.
Oh, wow.
It's amazing.
Yeah, they are. They're beautiful. I know in the pictures and that, they just kind of come out at you. And yeah.
Yeah, she has amazing eyes. So, I think that's where she'll end up. I hope she gets the kind of help she needs so she kind of puts everything in perspective.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of things that are bothering her, and hearing negative things about her dad and everything sure doesn't help. No,
and I know that there, for a while, because her and Prince had Twitter accounts.
Yeah.
And I had heard that that she was particularly being harassed on Twitter for a long time, and then also bullied in school, I believe, about the same things.
I've heard the bullying in school,
So
that's what happens with celebrities' children.
Yeah, that's sad.
People either love them too much, or they hate them.
Yeah.
And that's a terrible world to live in when you're a teenager.
Oh, yeah.
It's really hard to get things in perspective when you're a teen.
Yeah.
Those are hard years.
Oh, definitely.
You're trying to grow up, you're still a kid,
Yeah, you're kind of in that limbo where you're you're still a kid, but you're heading into adulthood, and your emotions are all mixed up, and
yeah, hormones are raging.
Oh yeah.
And, you don't know where you fit in. You don't quite know, because that's judged mostly by your peers, or
right.
People your own age, people that are around you, and how they view you has a lot to do with your self-esteem.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And if you're bullied or picked on or anything like that, that's devastating to teens.
Oh, sure, and especially, and at the same time, during these years, they all, of course, she was a little bit younger, but, losing their father at the same time, and then heading right into all that, oh my goodness.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not a good thing at all.
No. Okay, Breezy Jackson asks, what is your favorite painting that you did of or for Michael, and why?
I think my favorite painting would be the portrait I did of Prince.
Okay. Is that the one where he was sitting on the chair?
King? Prince, the boy king.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, when Michael first talked to me about painting the kids, we were going to start with Prince. He was the oldest one.
Okay.
And so he wanted a portrait done, but he didn't want just like a regular portrait, somebody sitting there in a regular painting or a photo.
Yeah.
So Michael was the one that came up with the idea for the whole thing, about Prince sitting on the throne.
Oh, okay.
And he's asleep. And down the bottom is a saucer and a bottle.
Okay.
And the two guys on each side, And I just thought it was just a wonderful idea. And I guess that's why it's probably my favorite painting. But
okay.
I like them all because, just because of my dealings with Michael and things that we went through during those paintings and all that kind of stuff, So that would be my slight favorite, just because I think it was totally Michael's idea.
Okay. And I imagine you have all these memories of each, for each painting, different, like you said, things that you went through or that you discussed, and...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, and Daphne Vicky Timmons asked, do you plan to finish the Field of Dreams mural of Michael?
No, because I don't have any place to put it.
Okay. Okay.
But and I was going to do it because that painting was going to end up being 12 feet by 38 feet.
Oh, wow.
And there were something over 500 kids in it.
Oh, my goodness.
So when I originally did that sketch, I was checking with other artists that I thought would fit in with the kind of work I do and help me with underpainting and all that stuff, but I couldn't get any commitments from other artists.
Oh.
And there was no way I could start that project on my own.
Yeah, that sounds like a huge undertaking.
Yeah, way too much for one person.
Yeah.
You have to have helpers.
Sure.
I figured I needed 4 more people.
Oh, wow.
And I just was not able to do it. I could come up with one guy, a friend of mine, Spencer, but
okay.
I couldn't get commitments from anybody else, because you know how it is. I mean, they're doing their own thing.
Sure.
And so they don't want to take that kind of time away from what they're doing. So otherwise, it would have been done.
Yeah.
That was my fault.
Okay. And now, Mary Kappa asks, and this is, you've sort of answered this before, but I'll ask it just to see if you want to elaborate on it. She said, Michael said after the 2005 trial that he would never return to Neverland. Do you believe that if Michael had lived, that one day he would have returned there? No, okay.
Nope, I absolutely do not.
So not even to visit or anything, he just wanted to clear it out of his life?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it was so violated.
Oh, yeah.
That he could never feel the same there, and I don't think he wouldn't feel the same for the kids that were coming there. His plans, originally for the ranch were, to make that kind of like, like Disneyland or Disney World. He had already, his people, his attorneys, whatever, had already talked to the county and township and everything, and they were going to run a spur off from that freeway that runs up
Oh.
That's actually, it's, let me see, it'd be north of the ranch. They were going to run a spur off from that to run a wide road over to the ranch.
So it would actually be like an amusement park that people could come into,
Exactly.
Oh, wow.
Yep. And I designed like a water park back there.
Oh, wow.
I designed places where people could stay, like up in, there were like tree houses and things.
Oh, my goodness, wow.
Yeah, it was quite an elaborate thing. There were, big plans for the ranch until everything came crashing down.
Yeah. So it was right before like before the 2003 accusations?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Yep. Well, it just made it impossible for Michael to work in any kind of direction like that once he's accused of those kind of things.
Oh, sure.
Especially when you're dealing with county or state or township or anything like that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
They're not going to be connected to anything like that.
No, because already then it's, yeah.
Yeah, they open themselves to criticism.
Yeah.
Kind of put the kibosh on that.
Yeah, that's a shame. That sounded like it would have been pretty amazing.
Oh yeah, the vision Michael had for the ranch was amazing. He wasn't done.
Yeah.
He was only getting started.
Wow. And when did he purchase the ranch again?
1988.
88. Okay.
He purchased it just at the same time when I met him.
Oh, okay.
He and Paul McCartney had been up there filming those songs.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, say, and yeah.
And The Girl Is Mine.
Yep.
Whatever.
Okay. Yeah.
And so they were up there in that area, and I think it was Paul McCartney that had told Michael about the ranch. And so Michael had gone to L.A. and rented a chopper, and so they went up by chopper.
Oh, okay.
And looked all over around the ranch, all the 2,800 acres.
Wow. Yeah.
The buildings, and it had fallen into disrepair. It was the Firestone estate. Now I don't know. I have a feeling that they had died, and the place had just been sitting there for a long time.
Oh, okay.
And so when Michael first started out, the two lakes, there's an upper lake and a lower lake, and those were all totally overgrown. So Michael had to bring in dredgers.
Okay.
And they dredged all that out of there, and they created that island with the beautiful sycamore trees and birch trees and everything. And then just started creating the grounds, and then there was a big, huge wooden barn in the back, and that had caught on fire. And that was when Michael's animal trainer died.
Oh, in the fire?
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
He didn't get burned up, but I forget what happened.
Ooh.
Something had fallen on him or whatever. He was trying to get the animals out.
Oh, that's awful.
Yeah, Michael's absolutely, totally devastated. That was a good friend forever, ever since he was a little teeny kid.
Yeah. Oh,
and he was a guy that could go in the lion's cage with him. They had a huge male lion there.
Oh,
and
wow.
He could go in the cage, but none of the other trainers dared do that. This guy had a special relationship with this lion.
Yeah.
And so then, when the barn came down and stuff, then that was about the same time when they started building the complex back there for the animals.
Okay.
And then there's the Midway, and then there's the petting zoos and all that stuff. Horse rides, buggies, horses.
Wow.
Animals.
Yeah.
It was always fun because the trainers always used to bring the animals out in the yard in the morning, pretty early in the morning.
Okay.
And they'd let the elephants reach up and tear branches off those big oaks.
Oh.
And then later the gardeners would come by and clean up,
Yeah.
But then they'd bring the camels out and the snakes.
Oh, wow.
And just all kinds of animals, they'd bring them out.
Yeah.
I loved going down there and playing with them and hanging around with the elephants.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just really amazing. The animals, of course, were very happy there.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Except for the one barn where there was a keep out sign, and that was for animals that had been abused.
Oh.
Because Michael would take them in.
Oh, wow.
And then they'd try to get them re-socialized.
Yeah.
So they didn't let anybody in there except for the trainers.
Okay.
That's the only ones that were allowed to deal with them. There were monkeys and all kinds of stuff in there, but nobody went in that barn.
Okay, so it was all like more exotic animals that had been abused?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yep. Yeah, it's all exotic animals.
Yeah, so were like they had come from like circuses or something, or?
Well, it's that in the black market.
Oh.
I think most of the animals that Michael had were either abandoned or abused or black market or something.
Oh my goodness.
Almost every one of them.
Wow.
Yep, and they had to be rehabilitated, you know.
Yeah. That's a great little fact. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, and Brandy, he had a couple of orangutans.
Mm-hmm.
And Brandy was a female.
Okay.
And Larry was the male.
Mm-hmm.
And Larry was humongous. His hands were, God, I don't know how to explain them. They were so huge. I've never seen
Oh my goodness.
an animal so big.
Yeah.
And so they didn't take him out anymore. They did when he was younger, but they didn't when he was grown up.
Yeah.
But Brandy could come out, so I was up there one day, and they were going to bring Brandy out. And I said, oh, great, you know, so what kind of treat can I get? And he said, well, she loves Skittles. So I jumped on the cart and ran back down to the theater.
Yeah.
Got a bunch of Skittles and brought them back up. And I had long gray hair. And she took one look at me, and she said, that's my man. I tried to feed her a Skittle, and she took my hand real gently, and she turned it around, and she pushed it back up to my mouth. Then she took my hand, and she rubbed it all over her belly.
Oh, my gosh.
Chest. And then she hugged me. And the trainers carry these little wooden dowels. They're about maybe 8 inches long.
Okay.
And so if an animal does something that they don't want them to do, they just tap them.
Okay.
So they're not beating them or anything.
Yeah.
They just tap them to let them know that's not right.
Yeah.
Because they're around kids.
Sure.
And she totally ignored them. So I had to work my way back towards her cage with her hugging on me.
Oh, my gosh.
And then they had to physically unwrap me and put her back, and then it broke my heart. I almost wanted to marry her. She loved me so much.
Now, Lori might have had a problem with that, do you think?
Yeah, when I told her about it, she didn't think that was a good idea.
Oh, my gosh. So was Michael there when all this was happening?
No. Michael was not there when that happened.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's funny.
I forget what I'd gone out there to do something. Oh, I know what it was. I was out there to varnish some paintings.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I had a couple of guys come up from L.A., and so between us, because some of those are big and they're hard to handle. So,
Oh, sure.
So I had them set up to varnish those things. We had to set up a huge fan and stuff up in Michael's dance studio.
Yeah.
We varnished them in there.
Okay. Wow.
There were just lots of things like that. You know, I'd be at the ranch and it's just so great to be in a place where you have, you know, all those exotic animals and rides and popcorn machines and
Oh, yeah.
goodie wagons, you know, ice cream wagons.
So they were just like sort of just all out on the property, and you could just go up to any. How was that set up?
Well, up to the midway, they had those carts, or 3-wheel carts, they're like bicycle carts.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And so some of them were candy wagons, and some of them were ice cream wagons.
Okay.
So they just had the ice cream wagons just had a lid. You just open that up, and there's just every kind of ice cream treat you can think of in there.
Oh, wow. That could be dangerous.
Well, same at the theater. I mean, I've never been in a theater in my life that had a concession counter like that.
Oh, wow.
I don't care what you're thinking about.
Yeah.
Whatever you're hungry for, It's there.
Oh, my.
Yeah.
And did he have people that were working there then that would give you, or you just helped yourself?
Well, we just helped ourselves.
Okay.
But when the kids come to the ranch, like the Make-A-Wish Foundation kids, Starlight Foundation, when they would come there, then there would people be manning the concession stand.
Oh, okay.
And,
sure.
A projectionist there. And then also people, Michael's people were trained to handle people with special needs.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Those people went every 6 months to Kansas City for refresher courses on how to extract kids from rides.
Oh, wow.
Special needs kids.
Mm-hmm.
And all the rides, like Michael had every ride that was on the ranch, was specially fitted. It had guards and things so that kids who weren't well balanced, they wouldn't flop off the side or their arms wouldn't flop out or whatever. All the rides were done that way.
Yeah.
And he also had all the rides converted from fluorescent lights to bulbs, incandescent bulbs, like the old style.
Oh, okay.
Because all the new rides are made with fluorescent bulbs.
Mm-hmm.
So he wanted them like the old way.
Oh, okay. Wow, he gave a lot of thought to every little detail.
Everything. It'd be like, we'd be out in the morning on a golf cart going someplace, and he'd look over and see something, and he'd get on the phone, and 10 minutes later there's an earth mover. And they're all, thousands of yards of dirt out of one place and putting in another place, and all of a sudden there's a huge flower bed.
Oh, my gosh.
But he would do that. He was always looking,
Yeah.
to see what was going on there. And, of course, the place was always just immaculate. There was never a dead leaf or a dead flower,
Wow.
They were always dead-headed. And they had, I think the gardener figured they had 40 acres of flowers.
Oh, my goodness.
That's a lot of flowers.
Yeah, that sure is. I can't even imagine trying to keep all that up.
I know.
Oh, wow.
I know.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, that was his pride and joy. He loved that ranch.
Oh, yeah, imagine.
Yep, that was his dream come true.
Yeah. Too bad he couldn't have stayed there forever. No.
Well, yeah. Yeah, that, if people had left him alone, that would have been just an amazing place now. It would have been a destination for a lot of people, a lot of kids.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yep.
All right, I think I have 2 more questions from fans.
Okay.
So, Mary Sowell asks, she has, actually sort of 3 different questions in one here. How was Michael able to cope with everything that was thrown at him? And did he change after the trial in regards to his trusting nature? And did he change and lose his childlike way of viewing the world?
Okay, for the first part, I think the only way Michael was really able to cope with it was, number one, I think, was his faith.
Yeah, yeah.
I think that was the most important thing. The second thing was that he was no longer a single person. He was a person who had a family.
Yeah, true.
And so I think he drew strength from his kids, and he also felt a huge responsibility to them. And I think that kept him going before the trial.
Okay.
After the trial, and she asked, did the trial change him? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And as far as trusting people, his trust in people had started to deteriorate ever since 1993.
Okay, sure.
And the third part of that question, did he ever lose his childlike qualities?
Yeah.
No, he did not.
Okay.
He certainly absolutely did not.
Yeah.
He no longer had an outlet
for them.
For that.
Oh.
But he still had it.
Yeah. Which is a shame, because it's like having to bottle up a part of yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was terrible because before, like I said, his music was like a river. It flowed. There weren't any stoppages. It flowed ever since he was a little kid. And the way it flowed was he wrote it. he performed it on stage.
Yeah. Yep.
And after those problems, he was still writing music, but it was like there was no real outlet for it anymore.
Yeah.
He'd kind of lost his direction, I think, as far as completing that cycle.
Yeah, and that's, I'm just imagining, you know, for me it would be like having something to write but not being able to write it or share it with anybody, or for you maybe paint, you know, not being able to paint and express yourself through that.
Yeah, and we all have, you know, like, you know, for a writer it's being published or being seen by people.
Right.
For an artist it's the same. You know, you create work and, you know, it's sold or it's displayed or something. But there's a beginning and an end to what you do. And for him, that end was shut down. It was like a dam.
Yeah, yeah.
And it limited what he was able to do anymore. Because Michael always thought big. Michael never had a small thought in his life. Everything was going to be bigger and grander. It was always that way. And to go the other direction was unthinkable for Michael.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Because when your mind works a certain way, and then to have to try to be somebody or not.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Or try to make do, or to deviate from what your dreams and your plans and everything else are.
Oh yeah.
That stunts you.
Oh yeah.
It takes away the reason.
Yeah. It steals your joy, I think, don't you think?
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Well, I think I'm looking over the other question. Basically, I've already asked you, so I was going to go ahead and leave that out because we've already discussed that. I didn't know if there was anything else that I didn't ask you about or that you wanted to mention.
Well, you know me. Once I get started on Michael. But I probably said most everything.
Okay.
That I was thinking about.
Yeah, we've discussed a lot of different things, which was, this was a fantastic interview. I thank you so much.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah, I know everybody.
My pleasure.
Yeah, I know that everyone will be looking forward to hearing this because, you know, you shared some really important things, and especially during this time, you know, when there's so much crap out there, and
people just have to learn to overlook that stuff.
Yeah.
Just accept that people are going to be discussing Michael till the end of time.
Yep. Yeah, that's true. And you know, recently, I think this was also in that same interview that I referenced earlier. Tom Mesereau was the interview that I was talking about. The interviewer had mentioned to Tom that you know, that hopefully now, you know, people like Diane Diamond and you know, those type of people would learn the truth. And Tom said, no, that's not going to happen because they don't want the truth. You know, they want to. They have an agenda to be. I mean, I'm paraphrasing what he said, but and I think that's what people have to accept, as hard as it is, that there's people out there that's their motivation.
That's right.
They don't want to know who he was. It's not.
No.
You know,
they're not fact finders.
No.
They're, you know, they have an idea that they want to present, and that's what they do.
Yeah.
And there's nobody here that can stop them.
Right.
So they just have to. It's just like noise, you know.
Right.
I don't pay attention to it because it's only noise.
That's a good way of looking at it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah. I think I've asked you everything on my list here.
Good.
So yeah, this was fantastic. I can't wait to get it up on. You know, what I'll do, which I plan to do with the first one we did too. I want to put it in YouTube formatting.
Oh.
So what I normally do with that then is I'll put like a picture or a series of pictures up
Yep.
and then I'll just play the audio. So I'll
cool.
load the audio up. Yeah, so it reaches more people that way because I can put it on the website itself, and then it's also on YouTube.
Right.
And I want to do that with your the one we did in 2010 because that one I did. I have the audio, but I had it just like in a media player on the website.
Oh yeah.
And some of the, like Google Chrome, one of the browsers, some of the browsers have issues that they start playing all, because at that time I had to separate it into four different files.
Yep.
And like for Google Chrome, you'll go on the page and it starts playing all four of them at once.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it's nothing I can change because it's something to do with the Google Chrome. It's some kind of issue they have with the player. So I have to explain to people, well, you got to go turn off 2, 3, and 4 before you. So I want to. Eventually, I'm going to go in and do that to your first one too, because I think it'll just now with YouTube you can have extended video or extended audio on there. Before they used to have a limit, I think of 15 or 30 minutes or something. So now that limit is lifted. So that's basically what I have to do now is just put that in and upload all of that and then put it onto the website, and then it'll also be on YouTube. So
oh, cool.
Yeah, so last time you crashed the site, so we'll see what happens. Yeah, that was the weirdest thing because I remember I had put it up and I think all of a sudden, I was trying to access the website and other people were messaging me and they're like, "We can't. Did you take the site down?" I'm like, "No," and so I had to contact my the provider I use for the host of the website. Yeah. And I said, what? Something's happening. My site keeps going down. And they said, well, you have so many people trying to access it at once and they were like so excited. They had never seen this before. They were like, oh my gosh, we've never seen this happen. And at least not for a nothing that wasn't a corporation or something.
Right. Yeah.
And so who knows? Maybe
it'll crash again.
Yeah, maybe it'll crash again. I at that point I had bought more bandwidth, which I don't really 100%. It has something to do with how many people can access media at once. Yeah. Something like that. Yeah. So there's more than there was previously. So we'll see. But that would be a welcome problem because then people are hearing the truth. So
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay, well, thank you so much. It was a pleasure speaking with you. And
well, it's my pleasure.
Yeah, thank you. And I'll send you the link as soon as I have it up. It probably, sure. I'm hoping within a week or so. Yep. To get it up, and it's just time consuming to get the audio, and then
I know.
Yeah. So yeah. So once that's up, then we'll. I'll send it to you, and then I'll be putting it on Twitter and Facebook and all that too, so people will be aware that it's out there. So
good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you so much, and thank Lori too for.
I'll do it.
Taking all the emails and.
Right.
Yeah. So.
Okay.
All right. Well, you have a great night.
You too.
Okay. Thanks, David.
Alrighty.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Hello, everybody. This is Deborah Kunesh from Reflections on the Dance. I just wanted to thank you all for taking the time to listen. This is really an important interview to listen to because David was a friend of Michael's for 20 years. He knew Michael very well, and he has amazing insight and beautiful stories to share that are so important, I think, for the public to hear, because you really get a feel for the fact that Michael Jackson wasn't just a celebrity, the king of pop, some kind of icon. He was a human being. He was a man. He was a father. He felt everything that we feel, and probably had to deal with a lot more than many of us have had to deal with, and that we would want to have to deal with.
in certain parts of going back and listening to this interview, it's been very sad to listen to, because it's unsettling to hear how much he had, the sadness that came into his life simply due to greed and jealousy, irresponsibility in media reporting, and a desire to bring someone down who was doing so much good. Just really somebody who really just wanted to heal the world. That was his mission and his goal, and you can see that his life story showed that. There's a saying that your life is your message to the world, and Michael's life spoke his message to the world. And unfortunately, due to so many distractions that came about from media, from lies, rumors, accusations, false accusations, he had to work so much harder, and people stopped listening. And I think that's the biggest thing that we have to take from his life, is that message, and to pay attention to it, and to pay attention to how we treat other people, how we as human beings treat one another, how we treat celebrities. There's just so many things that come about that I notice, where people will say, well, it's Michael Jackson, so we have to find something about him. There had to be something that was going on. He must have illegitimate children, or he must have hidden secrets, or there's always some kind of story kind of on the boiler, and kind of simmering. And when we look, you have to go back to realizing that he was a human being, and he was a human being trying to do good. He was fallible, just like all of us. He was human. He made mistakes. He wasn't perfect, and none of us are. And I think that that's Michael tried to do what God asked us to do. He tried to live that. Did he always succeed? Probably not. Just like none of us can succeed fully, because we fail sometimes, But the important thing is that he actually lived it. He made it his goal. He didn't just say it, he lived it. And I think that's what we have to pay attention to here. This is the lesson that comes out of his life, and it's very, very important for people to pay attention and listen. So thank you again so much for listening into this. Please share this series, this 3-series interview with family, with friends. Send it in emails. Share it on Facebook and on Twitter and all your social networks. And eventually I will be putting these 3 interviews on the Reflections on the Dance website itself. But it's really important that this kind of information gets out, because you're not going to see this on your news. You're not going to see it in magazines. You're not going to see it reported by the media. But it's the truth, and the truth needs to be heard. Thank you so much again. This is Deborah Kunesh from Reflections on the Dance. God bless you.